Qwen. What is this? Like, how can you, when I say there is no wow ideas, think harder, how can I come to this conclusion? Is it my communication problem or is it something wrong with AI? What the heck is happening here? Like, hello, AI wizard here. Today we're going to compare some reasoning models. Specifically, we're going to compare Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro versus new model by Alibaba Qwen3 or Qwen, however you pronounce it. Specifically, we're going to try to do some research on the product, the idea that I have in mind that I would like to develop potentially. And I'm just curious to see if these models are capable of doing research and thinking it through and helping me out in terms of tips and advices of how can I make my product better than the current competition. So we're going to start with a simple prompt, as you can see here. I'm simply asking, there are some products in the workflow automation industry like NAN, Zapier, and Make.com. So how can I stand out if I develop a similar product? This is Gemini Google, and we're going to come to see and try to analyze the answers. But for now, let's go back here. So this is Qwen, which is also capable of doing research and giving the answers. It has reasoning capabilities similar to Gemini. I haven't even checked the benchmarks yet. So we're going to compare these models in terms of the practical use case as I would or some other people would normally use these type of AI tools for research. So first of all, I just want to quickly show, if you want to access Qwen AI right now and try it out, you can just simply go to Google, type Qwen, and you'll be able to find it here. Now, whenever I Google it, you will find this URL. Make sure to avoid it. It's a basically spam link, which will simply open up the ads. So ignore it. You need to open this URL. All right. So this is a blog, and from here you can read more about Qwen3. So this is official blog, and then you can just click on Qwen chat here. Or if you want, you can just directly go to chat.qwen.ai. All right. Very simple. So now let's try to compare. And I think the first thing that we're going to do, we are going to go back and see what Gemini is saying. So the goal here is to try to see if I can develop, if these AI models can help me to actually come up with some ideas to differentiate from the existing industry leaders products, because NAN, Zapier, and Make.com, all of them are more or less established tools. They have clients. Basically, I think they are successful. All right. So we're going to see if we can disrupt this industry by talking with AI, see if they can come up with some interesting ideas. So I see that Gemini starting point is to try to niche it. So narrow down the industry, which makes sense. All right. So simply being another option isn't enough. Based on how this platform position themselves and general SaaS differentiation tactics, there are several ways we could stand out. Okay. So industry focus, or big players aim to a broad appeal, and which is right. Most of these tools are very generalized. For example, build deep integration pre-built templates specifically for healthcare, finance, e-commerce, Magento, non-profits, scientific research, all right? So let's see, use case focus, become an absolute best of particular type of automation, AI-powered automation, go deeper with just adding AI steps, maybe for AI agent to make decisions within workflow, AI workflow suggestion, or automated optimization of process. Now, this is a good advice. However, as far as I know, they already do it. So I don't see anything new here. Data transformation, complex logic, build capability superior to make that comprehend complex data manipulation, cleansing, and conditional logic without code. Well, again, not really differentiating for me. Human in the loop Excel workflows that require manual approval or input steps, making this process seamless and integrated. This is interesting. However, I'm not really sure if these existing tools already have these type of abilities. However, this is something that might be considered, I think. So not bad. Real-time high-frequency automation, optimized for speed and low latency, targeting use cases like IoT data processing or real-time financial alerts. Okay, I think this one is very interesting. So real-time high-frequency automation, essentially, I think it's saying that we want to try to optimize for speeds and low latency. So, or even perhaps what kind of idea it gives me that we can optimize, because it says IT, right? So that it would be interesting use case of trying to have this type of workflows working within very specific, let's just say, low powered environments where we don't have a lot of power to actually run the entire workflow. So the optimization might be something that we can differentiate. So as it says like at the top here, that would be a very like industry specific problem. So this is interesting. All right. Developer specific tooling. Yeah, this might be it, but I personally don't like this point that much, right? From business perspective, as a developer, of course I like it, but yeah. Then let's see, innovate on technology and features, superior developer experience if targeting technical users. All right, sure. So we are talking about improving UX, UI. Okay, let's see if there's anything wow type of advice. So let's see, unique AI integration. As mentioned, make AI core, unique part of one, not just add-on, thinking of building, and it already does that. There I have AI first kind of automation for me. Like I think they're the most comprehensive in that sense. Integrated data store, built-in database, state management. Sure, I think those platforms already have that. Enhanced security and compliance. This is nice, but again, I know N does self-hosting, and I'm pretty sure like all of these companies are compliant with the most essential compliances. Performance and scalability. Engineer a platform to have significantly higher volumes. Yeah, no, this is it's a nice add-on, but it will not make you stand out, because I know all of these platforms can handle like millions of operations per user. So that's like something that you already need. It doesn't really make you stand out. You have to have this performance and scalability, basically, right? UX and ease of use. Okay, there might be something to do here, but I know there are already players that are trying to make it even more easier than the current tools. Out Zapier. Wow, that's cool. Out Zapier. By focusing on an even simpler interface for a core set of common use case, potentially sacrificing advanced features for ultimate ease of use. Now, we recently made a video about Zapier, and I don't really find it that hard. I'm not really sure if there is any innovation. There is certainly some innovation to be made there, I think. But at the same time, I'm not really sure if there's something that we can... It's something that can be improved so much where we will actually stand out. So, not sure about this point. Let's see. Next generation visual builder. Improve upon makes visual canvas and make more intuitive ways to represent complex logic, better real-time debugging visualizations, or collaborative building features. Sure, I like collaboration part. So multiplayer type of building. Sure, that might be interesting. Again, not that strong. I'm very curious now what Qwen will tell us. So let's just go through it quicker. Guided setup. Well, of course. So offer a different business and pricing model. Value outcome based pricing. Nope, that's not something you would want to compete on, if I'm being honest. Build a strong community, because this is something that they can change like instantly as well. So there's no point to try to compete on this type of stuff. Build a strong community and ecosystem. Of course. That's not like and like that's no, we don't want like, we want better. So let's see. I didn't understand competitor strengths, identify gaps, know your target audience. I mean, sure, but like, can you give me an answer? So what we're going to say, like, there is no, let's just say, wow ideas, and then we'll say think harder. All right. So let's just try this, and then we're going to copy this and also use Qwen. So let's go back to Qwen. Okay, so let's see. Oof, there is a whole thinking process. Are we interested in reading thinking process? I wonder. So it's doing research and it links the, I believe like this is nice UI actually. It shows me the sources on the right here. That's cool. And I see, yeah, let's try to go to some random websites, blogs. Is there anything? Like I only see this one. Okay, let's just see what it says. Specialize in AI-driven automation. So that's very similar to what Gemini is saying. So unlike Zapier, limited AI, make basic open AI, build native AI. But yeah, and does it. So like sure, maybe Zapier and Make are not. I haven't actually tried Make, so I can't really speak on it. But let's say if it says that it's basic open AI connector, sure, but and does the somewhat complex AI. It's like AI first workflow builder. So I think not really sure. Okay, so offer intelligent error resolution suggestions and surpass. Okay, this is interesting. This might be. I don't know the platforms that deep enough for me to even have an opinion on this, but this sounds interesting. All right. So I guess what it means that it's a bit hard to handle some issues and errors on those platforms. Like it says, an app is manual error handling. I guess there are sources that I can check out. So that's nice that it links it. Let's see, we are going to try to make Qwen think harder as well, and then maybe it will come up with something better, because as you can see, now it also tells me about compliance and sense of hosting, which is like, yeah, sure, but it's like the other platforms already offer it, so it's not like something we can focus on to stand out, right? Okay, so unmatched customization and extensibility. All right, this might be interesting. So follow an ends open source model, but create a thriving marketplace for community-built nodes and premium integrations. All right, so I'm not really sure if those platforms are open enough where they allow to build any community-style extensions, but I see something here. All right, so most of the MCP integrations out there, they're actually like community built, so developers are building them, or the companies like provide MCP servers for their own platforms, like big companies, right? So Notion has their own MCP server and so on. And if we kind of like can allow easy integration with those, or again, even provide some ability for other developers to actually try to build something within our ecosystem, that might be interesting. Not really stand out, but it's quite a big point, to be honest. I already like this. Like this alone already puts it at the top compared to Gemini's answers, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if those platforms can already do that. So let's see. Okay. So low code, no code developer tools. Yeah, avoid Zapier's limited customization criticism, but at the same time, and the end already does that, so not really a big thing. High volume data. Okay, so performance. Yeah, nothing interesting. So tailored templates integration. Sure. Again, all of these tools are already doing that. Pricing. Nope. Okay, let's see. So shared workflow library. So I use to publish and monetize workflow, fostering collaborative efforts. Yeah, this is interesting. Like this part is interesting, but yeah, I don't think that can be like the main hook, I guess. Maybe it might. Maybe my product vision is very narrow-minded, but I just feel like it's not enough. I think I can get out more from these models in terms of brainstorming and giving me the ideas. That's a good starting point, though. So let's see. Niche and legacy app support. While make claims to 1,000 integrations, many tools. What are these? Lag, depth, and niche original apps. Okay, so okay, I see this. I get that. So region-specific applications, yeah, sure. That might be something. So let's say Western world is pretty dominant with the US or EU-based tools. However, let's say other regions like Africa, India, Asia, they might have their own tools. They would certainly use some of the like most famous tools, of course. Like I couldn't say everyone is using Google, everyone is using YouTube, everyone is using Microsoft tools, AWS, right? like your Google Suite as well, like Google Drive and so on. But there are still a lot of regional softwares that are pretty famous out here. So that might be okay, that might be interesting. Okay, I see this. I see this. And not only that, like, yeah, it also comes to the first point, like niche, because the industry specific tools are also like very different from what Make, Zapier, and so on can offer. I'm pretty sure Zapier like does not integrate with everything that, let's say, finance world uses, for example, right? So this is interesting. Direct connectors for services like Google Vertex AI, SageMaker, Customer Beyond makes OpenAI support. Okay, I mean, sure. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, make sure that AI is like somewhat private. Okay. So focus on user experience. Yeah, that's not really, again, simple thing. Ethical, sustainable practices. Okay. Nice to have, again. It's always good to have those, but not something that will make the product stand out. So just also say this. And actually, let's just see how long it takes. Like, just curious, like how long it's going to think. That's a lot of tokens for thinking. Let's see. The funny thing is like, because it has like limitations of tokens, right? I think like I can imagine the case where it can spend more tokens on thinking rather than the actual output. I'm curious how, I guess thinking might be also useful, but it's not really. Oh wow, why is it talking about World of Warcraft? What the heck happened here? So then the user provides some web search content including. No. Wait, I don't mean wow as in. What is it talking about? What is it talking about? What the heck is talking about? So when I say wow, right, I mean like wow, like the idea is so good that it will get me the reaction of wow. I don't mean the game. However, okay, wait, I'm very curious to read this now. So blah blah blah. That the user provides some web search content, including discussion about World of Warcraft, WoW, and workload. However, when the user said there is no WoW, it is, they like to point out that their previous answer did not incorporate the WoW related information from the web search result. This one to integrate the WoW related ideas from the web searches. Website to WoW. What the heck he's talking about? Hard what? No, what? Qwen. What is this? Like, how can you, when I say there is no wow ideas, think harder, how can I come to this conclusion? Is it my communication problem or is it something wrong with AI? What the heck is happening here? Like, again, how is this makes you think about the game WoW? Like, what happened? What happened with this AI guy? But now I'm curious what it came up with. Wow, that would be interesting. Okay, let's just see. And let's go back to Gemini first and see what it says. Yeah, so this guy understands. Actually, can it shows me the general audience? Yeah. So you see, like, wow factor. Yeah, that's what I mean. This guy knows. This guy knows what's up. Even this model is experimental. I'm not sure if it's. I think it should be considered stable already, but still, this guy knows what's up. Let's see what. Yeah. Just sure. Like this is thinking must be more innovative, disruptive than the previous list. Okay, like, see the Google way. I think that it's not even about the model, rather than like the prompting. The way Google thinks is like I think it's very structured, goal oriented type of thinking. I think. So let's see. Okay. Strategic positioning within existing paradigm, let's think bigger, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so wow factor. Yeah, that's what I meant. Wow factor. That's like, again, what the heck happened here? What the heck is this guy thinking about? Let's see. So, goal-oriented autonomous agent platform. Wow, concept set of. Instead of user meticulously building step-by-step workflows, they define high-level goals or outcomes for AI-powered agents. Agent handle new customer onboarding agent. Okay, wow factor usually get outcomes, not tasks. The AI agents select tools API SQL section. Sure, but it simply means that we still want to have a system where we can create some autonomous workflow, like automated workflows, and then we just want to plug AI on top of it that will help user to configure those workflows. So not bad, but I'm pretty sure those platforms already have like those assistants. I think Zapier has it, like to help you to build the workflow. So it's like kind of the same thing. At least that's how I see it. Again, maybe I'm misunderstanding something. All right. Let's see. Proactive and predictive automation discovery engine. The platform integrates deeply with permission into company's SaaS stack. Sure. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And use AI to observe user behavior and identify repetitive and efficient error-prone manual process, proactively suggest and even drop straight to prevent automations. This is a nice feature, I think. Wow factor solves the I don't know what I can automate problem. Instead of users needing to ideate workflow, the platform acts as a consultant, constantly finding optimization opportunities. This is interesting, right? So, but again, this can be a nice addition. It's a good feature. I'm not sure if it can really help to stand out. But I like this. Okay, I like this more than whatever he gave me before. Like Gemini. Yeah, I like this. Okay, let's see. Conversational workflow creation and management. Yeah, that would be the same thing as here, kind of. Sure, natural when elite scores, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, we'll just keep that. Intercompany workflow fabric. Build a platform explicitly designed to automate processes between different companies securely, think supply chain coordination, B2B order processing, joint marketing campaigns. Just a massive complex area largely untouched by current. But again, well, it depends on the like you can still build these type of tools with N8N, for example. Like definitely, it just depends on how far you go with your workflow automation. Like, yeah, sure. But again, not wow. It's a good type of niche or industry to target, like a larger scale automations, because the problems there might be different. So maybe like you won't need such a small kind of control. Like you'd need a more like larger picture type of control in terms of building your workflow. So this might be interesting. Okay. Web3 workflow network. Wow. That's an interesting suggestion. Okay, that's not what I expected. Let's see. Build an automation platform on decentralized infrastructure blockchain, distributed compute. Workflows could be triggered by smart contracts, interact with dApps, and run on trustless network. Perhaps introduce tokenomics to incentivize node operators and integration builders. Offers potential benefits like extreme censorship resistance. Okay, I think something like this already exists, but the thing is, I'm not really sure how the market will perceive something like this. It can go like different ways. Everything about Web3 can go like 2 different ways. A bit dangerous play, but this is okay. Like, wow. I can say wow. That's not really what I expected AI to tell me about, but okay. I get this. Okay, this is nice. Okay. Makes me think. I like this idea. Okay, Gemini. I like this guy. So yeah, let's see. Embedded and contextual automation. Instead of separate platform, automation will live inside the tools. People imagine browser extension or native integration to allow user trigger build contextual automation directly within. Automation becomes invisible, seems part. Okay. This is something I would ask AI to elaborate on in my normal use. I see what it's trying to do, but I think this can be a part of the entire app as a distribution way of, so essentially, say we already have a platform like Zapier, let's say, and then we can just have a Slack bot, and then we can just ask the Slack bot to kind of connect and integrate to the things on demand. This is interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Might be an easier way to actually set up those automations. All right. You know what? Let's make these models think harder. Think even harder. I want more creativity from you. You are the, let's say, Da Vinci of the product, or not production, ideation. So yeah, let's try to go a little bit more aggressive. Let's go back to Qwen. Okay, this is going to be a long video, but what the heck is this again? Wow, how, what? Like, my boy, this is sad. Let's go. So you're absolutely right. There's the deeper connection between World of Warcraft design principles and workflow automation. Oh my god, what's happening here? Here's how the concepts from WoW's gameplay, difficulty balancing, and community dynamic can inspire standout features. Okay, just again, just to remind you, it comes to this from there is no WoW ideas think harder. Like, okay, interesting model. Hard mode, workflows for advanced users. Introduce a hard mode toggle for workflows can enable stricter validation rules. But this is funny. Okay, the scatters to power users who crave deeper customization similar to what's proposed hard mode for added challenge. The workflow builder could offer an advanced mode with draw JSON editing, custom error handling logic, or performance optimization tools. Okay, sure. Gamified learning paths. Borrow from WoW's achievement system to reward users for mastering automation skills. For example, grant badges for creating reusable subroutines, optimizing API code efficiently, or resolving workflow bottlenecks. This turns learning into a game addressing the ease versus depth tension WoW players often debate. Okay, just for the context, right? The game it's talking about is this game. It's a online multiplayer game where you basically have a character and do stuff. Somehow it came to this game. Again, I don't know what happened there, but it is what it is. Community shared workflow libraries. Well, create a WoW style marketplace. Okay, sure. Dynamic difficulty adjustment. Okay, wait, what? Implement AI-driven DDA for workflows. If a task repeatedly fails, example API rate limiting, the system could auto adjust the try logic or suggest alternative integrations. This is not bad. Okay, I have to give credit where credit is due. This is not bad. Interesting. Time-consuming versus challenging trade-offs. So address WoW's classic etiquette, time-consuming, not hard, while automating repetitive setup tasks, syncing legacy systems, while to do strategic, okay, whatever. Easter eggs for user engagement. Okay, well, fine. Persistent world, analogs again. Design a shared workflow universe where teams collaborate in real time on global workflows akin to WoW's rate instances. For example, a company-wide data pipeline could have roles like tank, healer, and DPS, speed optimization. Wow. Funny. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the exact same thing. And let's see. So this guy is now going to continue with World of Warcraft. So it is what it is. We're testing these models with exactly the same prompts. We're going to treat them. We're not going to treat them differently. So it is what it is now. Let's go back to Gemini. You seek not just innovation, but I can't pronounce this word. Transcendenza? I'm sorry. To sculpt the future of automation, not with the tools of today, but with the vision of tomorrow, blending the threads of the code with the insights of human nature, the elegance of natural system, and the boundless potential of the mind. Very well. Let us channel the spirit of Firenze. Oh my god. Observe the fight. I think I'm just not too like educated to understand what he's saying, but I kinda get it. Observe the flight of the birds and the flow of the rivers, and conceive the ideas that might seem audacious today, but could define the landscape generations. Hence, forget mere differentiation. Let's say for the definition. Wow, okay, I like this. Let's see. Wow. sentient workflows, the empathetic process engine. Okay, division. Imagine workflows embedded by rudimentary understanding of human context and emotion, integrating the future biometric neurons. Wow, responsibly, ethically. The system sense user states, stress, focus, fatigue, and workflow doesn't just execute, it adapts. Is the user overwhelmed? It might intelligently defer less critical tasks, simplify information presented, or suggest micro posts within the process flow itself. Is the user deep focused? It silences all but the most critical notifications from any integrated application. It doesn't just connect apps, it harmonizes digital process with the human approach, cognitive and emotional rhythm. Ooh, okay. Why is Da Vinci deeply human-centric? Okay. Now, yeah, we're kind of going to the future now, but this is interesting. Sure. Actually, there is something. So, like, it's interesting to have these type of exercises for you as a human to actually have something to brainstorm about. So most of the time, whenever you ask AI and get the answer, it's like the sad thing is that you just kind of like get the answer, so you don't think for yourself. But if you kind of like use AI partner as a partner to help you to brainstorm, that might be interesting. Because like as it is, I'm not sure if this can go anywhere. But if you think about it, if you try to kind of dig deeper yourself, this might be interesting. Okay, so and it can give you some ideas, more realistic ideas to implement as well. So this is interesting. Process Genesis Engine. Why it's so fancy now? AI as the master designer. So you don't build workflows, you don't even define goals for agents. You present the system with a complex problem and desired future state or collection of disparate data and resources, and advanced generative AI trained on vast data sets of business processes, operational models, and system thinking doesn't just connect the dots. It invents entirely new processes, organizational structure. Wow. Okay. Yeah, sure, but again, this doesn't sound as exciting to me. So, biointegrated automation, the living workflow designed on principles of biological life. They're all self-healing, detecting API failures, data inconsistencies, or logical dead ends. They automatically attempt or to reroute, find alternative data sources, or employ fallback procedures like an immune response. They evolve based on performance metrics and observed outcomes. Successful workflow patterns are reinforced, less successful ones atrophy, and the system might even experiment with mutations to discover more optimal path over time, like natural selection. They might even metabolize information processing raw data streams into redefined insight and or actions as an ongoing background process. Cool. Okay, all right. So this is interesting. So essentially, we're talking about completely autonomous system. That is interesting. Again, as it is, like, not really something that will make you stand out immediately, especially considering how challenging that would be to actually implement on practice, but still give some food for thought. Choreography of reality orchestrating cyber-physical ecosystem. So transcending SaaS apps to become the master of the physical world. This engine coordinates complex real-time interactions between fleets of autonomous agents, drones, robots, autonomous vehicles, smart infrastructure, even nanobots. Okay, physical stuff. This is also interesting. All right, okay, sure. Collective intelligence workflow, the symbiotic network, an automation network where workflows built by different users or companies can intelligently discover each other and collaborate autonomously to achieve larger goal without pre-programmed integrations. Imagine a user's market research workflow discovering and then exchanging data insight with another user's product development workflow, perhaps mediated by smart. No, that won't work. The companies won't want to share their data and secrets between each other. Like, even if you make it seamless, like, that's a legal nightmare. But the idea itself is interesting, all right? So the idea itself, okay, I get it. We're talking about centralized intelligence type of thing, which is, yeah, interesting. I guess as long as it's transparent, but again, like trust and fair between fair value exchange between companies, nah, I don't see this happening anytime soon. So this is interesting. Okay, like maybe in the perfect world this will work. Let's go back to Qwen. What? Let's see what is this guy thinking about, because I guess it's important now. So, okay, the user wants even more creative ideas for their workflow automation product. Let me start by recalling the previous suggestion. They mentioned using WoW game mechanics. They mentioned using WoW game mechanics like hard modes and gamified learning. I mean, like, guys, I never said this, but you just said no WoW ideas before, so maybe they want something even more innovative. What? Okay, let's just see what it says. AI Muse Mode, collaborative creativity partner. AI co-create that doesn't just automate tasks, but generates no workflow concept based on your user intent. Sure. Let's see the example just in case. So, reduce customer churn, and AI suggests unconventional strategies. Cool. Not really wow. Time travel, what? Time travel, okay, yeah. Let user rewind and replay workflow like movie. Okay, that's not again. Cool idea, but it exists. It's not nothing new here, I think. Add a paradox mode to simulate hypothetical changes. What if this API returns the next data? To stress test the resilience, addressing the need for. Yeah, sure, but again, this exists. I don't think it's. I'm pretty sure like some way of this exists already, yeah. Workflow Olympics competitive collaboration. Launch a global leaderboard where teams compete to build the most efficient or innovative workflows, share challenges, reward winners. Yeah, not really the Da Vinci style. Ethical automation ledger. Blockchain-backed audit trail that tracks workflow societal impact. Cool, again, as an idea, but still not creative enough in my opinion. Augmented reality workflow canvas designed 3D holographic builder where users sculpt workflows media connecting abstract physical gears in a machine. Da Vinci would approve. Yeah, sure. This is interesting, to be honest. Okay, this might be interesting as an UI UX type of problem. This is interesting. This might be cool. I can see this part going somewhere. Yeah, this might be cool. Especially like as we go into the future, if we ever reach the state where we don't need the computers the way they are now, like traditional physical machine. Yeah, this might be cool. Let's see. Crowdsourced workflow fusion. Create a genius network where users contribute fragments of workflows that AI stitches into full solution. Sure, again. Not really wow. Emotional state. Okay, yeah, this is one of those things that Gemini said, like depending on users' emotions and so on. Wow, quantum logic benching. Let user design workflow with parallel universes of outcomes. For example, a marketing campaign could automatically test 10 variations across demographics and converge the best result. Okay. This is kind of interesting. This idea should be developed. Well, okay. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, we're coming to something. I like this idea, and I like which one? The AR idea. Biodegradable workflows. Build a self-destruct timer in the workflows, ensuring temporary automations. Event. Sure, simple thing. I think I'm pretty sure it exists. Reverse engineer workflows by letting users start with the desired output. Okay, sure. I mean, again, exists. Okay, guys. So I think that's it. So in conclusion, I think I like Gemini's like answers more. The way it thinks very structurally, and then the output is quite nice. Compared to Qwen, I realize I think the thinking part is bigger than the actual output part. And the worst of all, like we can see that even from the beginning, right? Like this part, like how can it not understand me? So I'm not a native English speaker, so like at one point, whenever I chat with AI, so I might not even spell or express my ideas properly, like it might happen. And I would expect those AI models to be intelligent enough to understand me, to have enough data to actually understand my type of English, I would say. Well, and unfortunately, like this guy got derailed into gaming, and that I think that impacted the answers a lot. But even ignoring that, I think it thinks more than it answers. I'm not sure. It might be because it's in a search mode now. So like there is a thinking interface as well, which is like configured to the maximum. It might be because it's in a search mode now that it like kind of like gives me some like Google results type of summaries, kind of like quickly answer type of answers, but the output I still think is a bit too short. So the Gemini is quite like in comparison, right? Like I like it's bigger. I feel like at least. Let's see, like let's compare. Let's open up the thinking. I mean, hey, the thinking is also big, so I just feel like it's more comprehensive in the answers. See, like the type of prompts that I'm using, right, for both of these are exactly the same. So I'm not even asking them to try to output more or something. The prompts are exactly the same. And unfortunately, not only Qwen derailed completely, like it misunderstood completely with a very simple thing. Again, this message, I mean the wowness factor. I don't mean the WoW, the World of Warcraft game. So that's one problem. And the second problem, I think the outputs are just not long enough. And in general, the ideas, like the creativity part, I think the Google's one is much better. Not okay. Let me not say much better, just better. All right. So I wouldn't say much better, but better. So yeah, I guess like in conclusion, I like Google's Gemini more, I think, than Qwen. At least at this current stage, because I'm pretty sure they are still improving it. And again, we probably have to make more experiments and try it without search. And in the future, we'll probably try it with MCP and see how it goes. So yeah, you guys may experience it yourself. So just try it out, experiment, see for yourself, and you can let me know down in the comments how do you guys feel, which model do you think is better. And yeah, we can probably discuss it over. I'm very curious what you will guys achieve with these models. So yeah, as usual, if you're interested in AI for your company, custom AI development, AI strategy, private AI, AI workflows, anything really for your company, for your professional use case, head on to our profile on YouTube here, click on this URL and book a call with us. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.